Hey everyone, welcome to Geeks and Drinks. I'm Jason.
Jordan.
And this week we got a ton of trailers to talk about. We got a review of Black Panther. It's going to be definitely spoiler heavy, but considering it's made half $1 billion in its first week.
Just a buttload.
I'm pretty much,
you've already seen it.
yeah, most of you guys have already seen that. Plus a couple quick hits, everything from HBO to a new update about Deadpool. We're not talking just about the movie, the upcoming trailer. Let's get into what we usually get. What's our drinks for the evening?
Beer.
Yeah, just a lot of beer, you know. Can't go wrong with Karl Strauss Red Trolley. It's probably one of my favorites out there. Then again, any, Irish Reds are actually really good.
Reds.
In general.
It's not just because of the ginger thing, but seriously, it worked out that way.
Although, Jess and I actually went out to Mitsuwa last night for dinner. And hit up.
If you don't know what that is, it's a Japanese market.
Yeah. And they always have this big food court inside there, and it's amazing. And of course, one of the stalls they have there is basically their version of a beer cart. And I wish I took a picture of it, but a Japanese brand was showcasing a new red made out of sweet potatoes.
What?
I actually really enjoyed it.
No, I would have tried it too, but I'm just weird.
Yeah, it was just random. Like, I'll have that. And it was good.
Sounds really unexpected.
Yeah. And of course, the whiskey is
Kavanagh.
Is it Kavanagh?
Yeah, we drank some of it last time.
Yes. What is trying to is Kavanagh, whatever it's called. It's delicious though.
Yeah.
This makes
Kavanagh.
Yeah.
Kavanagh.
That has to be like what, our 15th or 20th different whiskey we've tried on this. We've been doing this for so long now.
Fail to see an issue.
Oh, no, it's not. It's amazing. Hence the title, Geeks and Drinks.
I was going to say, you're the one that brought up the fact that this is episode 69.
It is episode 69, so make your comments and jokes all you want. Jordan, you can start. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know, man.
All right, well, let's just jump into it. With some conversation starters, we have, 8 trailers to speak of. We'll go through them fairly quickly. Or is it 7? 7 or 8. Anyways, the one that came out today, the reboot.
The reboot of Reboot.
I enjoyed watching Reboot really badly CG animated.
When it came out, though, like, it was like,
it was revolutionary, and we're like, oh, that's amazing, and I really enjoyed it. The whole fact that there's people living inside my computer, and then they get to play the games, too, and...
You mean Tron?
You're still going to blame Tron 3 on me?
No. Yeah. Think about what Reboot is. It's
Tron.
Yes,
it is Tron, but... on a weekly basis.
For babies.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll go with that.
You can't even say on a weekly basis, because they did that with Tron Uprising.
Yes, but that was a fairly recent endeavor compared to...
I'm just saying, Tron for babies.
Okay, all right, Tron for babies.
Which it was Disney, so it's all in the same umbrella, technically.
Yeah,
makes sense why no one got sued.
Yeah. But anyways, so Netflix got the rights to make a new series. And they released a trailer. And that's the only good thing I have to say about it. What can we really mention about it? I mean, the only things you really have from the original Reboot that you've seen so far in this trailer, you have the name Reboot. The villain uses Megabyte as a...
because they're avatars, right?
Yeah, as an avatar, basically.
That kind of bothered me. Whatever.
Yeah, no, it's just like 4 kids all of a sudden have a magical basement classroom they were all assigned to, and then they get scanned and dropped into Tron, basically. And it jumps to fairly bad CG that, it would seem perfectly in place for a video game about 10 years ago. But with the latest, technology available out there that's reasonable in terms of TV and movie production style, this is still...
Netflix has to start throwing shit out there. They can't rely on House of Cards.
Well, no, not anymore, but...
Come on, man. Gotta drift away. Pedo ruined everything.
Yeah. I don't know. I look at this, and now they're like, oh, look, I have our companion is an android called Vera. Oh, she's digital. Oh, no, she actually has a human-esque, meat suit when she's not... Yeah.
Like, we can agree. It doesn't look good.
Did we need this, though? No.
No.
Was anybody asking for us? No.
I didn't even know this was being done, and I made a joke about this happening like 3 days before.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the official title is called Reboot: The Guardian Code. It'll be available on Netflix sometime later on this year. I don't even think I'm gonna hate watch it. We'll have to see.
You will.
Yeah.
Because I'll end up watching it and be like, Jason, you don't understand.
Maybe an episode. We'll see.
Do I not need to remind you of fucking Death Note? I watched it. Told you it was fucking terrible.
And what did I do?
God awful.
I went out and watched
later,
it.
You're like, yeah.
No,
yeah.
that was just that was painful to watch.
But like I said, I even tried to warn you about that one, and you still watched it.
Yeah. Then again, we do also watch I like to think we have okay taste when it comes to entertainment. But then again, you and I also will go out and say, this is really bad. Everybody's saying this is really bad.
I must show this to everyone.
I need to share this in its pain.
Like The Room or Birdemic.
Or the Star Wars Christmas, the holiday special.
Sharknado.
Sharknado. Oh.
God. The worst part, I think I told you, I told everyone that I watched at number 5, and everyone had the same reaction. There's how many now?
Yeah, it's still going on.
And I blatantly, it's like, oh yeah, no, they set it up blatantly for a 6th.
And a 7th, and an 8th.
Dude, as long as people keep watching them, they'll keep making them.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta imagine, this is probably sci-fi's variant of Fast and Furious franchise, except it probably costs like 1/10 of the amount to actually make each of these things.
Well, you have Vin Diesel, so the acting's about the same. So you got that going for
Very
you.
true. Anyways, let's go back to some more nostalgia. Karate Kid. I enjoyed that movie all those years ago. And you're not missing much, Jess.
Because of Karate Kid, I got through my first MMA fight. Not like physically in a fight, because I'm soft. A buddy of mine, like his friend was doing a fight or whatever. So,
sweep the leg.
Yeah, I just kept yelling, sweep the leg, put him in a body bag. And the entire time he was like, wait, he should have swept the leg. I'm like,
you thought you were
thank you, Ralph Macchio.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys can watch it online. You guys can find that movie if you want.
Because this is only on YouTube.
Yes, this is a YouTube Red original series called Cobra Kai. This is a continuation of the Karate Kid story, set 30 years after the first movie, which, happens to be, how old these people have been.
Dude,
it seems to be the whole thing. Like, instead of rebooting a series or continuing rebooting a series brand new, fresh, you don't have to add anything to it. It's literally like, hey guys.
You mean that thing they already did? Remember they tried rebooting the Karate Kid. Remember Will Smith's kid, Jackie Chan?
Oh, yeah. No, I forgot about that film.
That's why you keep me around.
To remind me of horrible things that I should always forget.
I can remind you of the shit that you've tried to block out and forget with alcohol.
Much as I try. But anyway, so this one. Let me give you the description of this one. The series, set to bow in 2018, is set 30 years after the events of the '84 All Valley Karate Tournament, and revolves around a down-and-out Johnny who, seeking redemption, reopens the infamous Cobra Kai dojo. It ignites his rivalry with the now successful Daniel, who has been struggling to maintain balance in his life without the guidance of his mentor, Mr. Miyagi. Oh yes, Pat Morita, may he rest in peace.
The best part's where they walk up and like he tries to be intimidating while they both just look like a bunch of soccer dads.
Yeah. Okay, well, this comes out later on this year on YouTube Red. You guys can see that.
Can't wait to not watch that.
Speaking of stuff that, again, why did they feel the need to reboot this? Netflix is also rebooting Lost in Space.
I never understood that one.
It was a fun, campy series way back in the day.
Well, yeah.
And then there was the...
Come on.
God-awful movie.
Matt LeBlanc forever.
Oh, God. Oh,
and Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman was the best part of that movie.
As the bad guy.
Yeah. Then again, most films that Gary Oldman stars in, he's usually the best part of the movie. Yeah.
Even when he had a ballsack hair in Dracula, yeah.
But yeah, so this trailer basically just doesn't really show anything except the Robinson family walking in slow motion towards the spaceship, and Will Robinson looking back at the screen as the camera as the door closes, and then you get like flashes of random stuff saying "Emergency, Will Robinson." Basically, not the classic Danger Will Robinson from the robot.
I say, because that was the classic line.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to that point eventually. But
the only name I recognize in this is Parker Posey, and that's upsetting.
Molly Parker, Parker Posey, Toby Stevens, Ignacia Cericchio. and more. Whatever. I like I said, I know one of these people.
Parker Posey?
Comes out on Netflix April 13th. I mean, I love sci-fi as much as the next person, but yeah.
I'll watch it, and then you'll basically end up watching about a week later. You're not doing your binge of One Piece, so now I can actually start sucking you into all the bullshit.
Oh, One Piece. Good series. Anyways, let's get to some good trailers for stuff that we're actually looking forward to. Incredibles 2. Over Valentine's Day, the Pixar team actually was teasing this multiple times throughout the Olympic coverage on NBC. And when they finally released a trailer, Jess and I were actually at Disneyland, and we stopped what we were doing, pulled to the side, and was like, all right, we're watching this.
We've all done that.
Oh, yeah.
We were literally at dinner, he pulled out his phone.
With this one, it just looks so good. Two, the Incredibles is far and away my favorite Pixar movie. So I was looking more forward to this
Not
than
WALL-E?
anything else. I truly enjoy WALL-E. WALL-E is in my top 3. But WALL-E is definitely just in my movie. Incredibles is something I just thoroughly enjoyed from start to finish. I've watched it countless times. So having a sequel finally, I'm looking forward to.
I mean, a real one? Remember,
Yes.
there was one already.
Huh?
PlayStation 2, they made a game.
Oh, no, we're not
Incredibles 2,
That's
Rise of the Underminer.
Oh, God. That's
Which
not...
is literally, it's how the movie, like this one
how
starts
the movie
out
starts right at
the
the end of it. Yeah, the first movie. So
I also enjoy that the internet's gone nuts and basically perverts. Give it a idea how many times I've seen like memes and stuff about Elastigirl.
Oh yeah. It's called
Yes, thick. THICC. Because reasons.
Jordan, it's called Rule 34.
No, I know that. That's usually the top comment every time.
But it's been a long time. The first movie came out in 2004, and now we will see this in theaters June 15th. I cannot wait.
So before we talk about the next good trailer that came out, let's do a shit sandwich. Venom also came out as a trailer.
There's a reason why I didn't put that in the
Look,
notes.
I feel bad because a buddy of my coworker, the homie Frank, which he says hello, by the way, Jess. He also wants to know when you're going to BlizzCon next. But he wanted me to get excited for the Venom trailer, and all right. And then he was just kind of like, yeah, he sent me the trailer. I'm like, wow, that was terrible. He was like, oh, you're like all those other guys on the internet. You're upset 'cause they didn't have everything you wanted. What happened to, not showing you everything in the trailer? I'm like, I wasn't asking for everything.
One thing.
I was asking
Just
for one
thing.
thing. I wanted to see Venom.
I don't care if it's a quick single frame shot that everybody can go back later on and pause and zoom in and do whatever they want to it.
I would have settled for how they handled it in for Spider-Man 3, where you kind of see Topher Grace being attacked.
Hey, Parker.
No. Fuck that movie. Where you see the shit from the bell tower fall on him, and it ends with him quickly turning.
Right. Or
I would have settled for a slow head turn.
Something.
And you just hear, or just maybe just some I'm assuming he's not going to sound like Tom Hardy when he's Venom.
I really hope
just
not.
a simple "We are Venom."
Mm-hmm.
That would have been awesome.
Which makes me wonder. This movie's going to come out later on this year, yeah?
October.
Venom? Are they that far possibly behind? Yeah. It's all a matter of, it's a guessing game at this point. Are they that far behind on the effects? Or are they just still not fully comfortable with how Venom's turn out? Because you really can't do Venom as a practical effect. That type of character needs to be CG. And just a quick taste is all we were looking for.
Yeah, I just wanted
point.
a quick look at Venom, something small.
Because all we got was the angry Tom Hardy movie starring Tom Hardy.
Dude, the worst part is I showed it to a friend of mine, and I'm like, it's without it being called Venom, or even we're gonna show you the spooky eyes as the logo at the end. I'm like, this is blatantly, you could have left out Venom, and it would have been a sequel to that god awful movie that they did last year with Ryan Reynolds, where they found life in outer space.
Oh,
Met Jake Gyllenhaal, and they're like, this could be a prequel to Venom.
There was a fan video that made that happen, actually.
But you know
Although
what I mean?
I was gonna say you can do this entire trailer, and at the end cut the Venom part out, and then just show Tom Hardy putting on the Bane mask. The whole thing could have been a prequel to that.
The Bane
Easily.
Mask? You mean Blofeld?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. Bane sounded like a combination.
Why are you doing
Yeah,
this?
he sounded like a combination of Blofeld and like Sean Connery Bond.
Yes, very
like,
true.
It was the most god awful thing ever.
Okay, quick tangent on that. Do you remember the whole controversy that happened during the first trailers for that?
When no one could hear him?
I was perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
And then the fact that I had to go back and change it to this, and it was like, what the? It made no sense to me at that point.
Like, what is happening?
I was better with him being more garbled because actually, you let his actions,
What bothered me, Bane, think about his mask normally. What's the one part of it that's not covered from his mask? The mouth.
Everything else is covered, yeah.
They did the exact opposite. It literally looked like he had like a mechanical jock covering his face.
Yeah.
He's not a tool. I think it's like the negative effect of Tim Burton. Like Tim Burton, they kind of like took it away from him at one point.
Unfortunately, yeah. But then
Nolan, like, we're just gonna keep giving him more and more credit.
But then we got shit like Batman Forever and Batman and
that was
Robin.
Schumacher though, because that's like we need to get away from this now.
Yeah, and that was the problem though. Too spicy. The thing is, like, you just and I agree. They should have kept more with Burton on it.
Yeah.
But Schumacher was just like, when you start off that movie with like, shall I prepare you a sandwich, sir? I'll get drive-through.
I was fine with that.
Why?
No.
That was just a McDonald's blatant
Forever
tie-in.
was fine. That was probably their apology. Because let's face it.
Okay, that was their apology to McDonald's and their corporate sponsors about all the problem that they were pushing on for Batman Returns, and realizing that, we massively misunderstood what this movie was actually going to be.
I'm just gonna throw this out there.
Huh.
If we didn't have Batman Forever and we let Burton continue, we would have had Damon Wayans as Robin. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
That's like that's
silver lining. Every cloud has a silver lining, and that's this one. But back to Venom.
It's our huge tangent.
Stay on target. Again, I honestly don't know how they plan on doing it, because I am honestly afraid that they haven't decided how they want Venom to look yet.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, Venom has been all over the place.
Very true.
Granted, they keep showing like the earlier Todd McFarlane, like with the eyes and everything.
Right.
And I think that would fit perfectly with the fact that Tom Holland's suit also went very old school with how Spider-Man looks.
Right.
So I'd be cool with that.
Right.
But I'm also afraid they're gonna try to make it be like Agent Venom, where it's like Commando Venom that makes no sense.
It's more of it's more of like a suit than actual like a symbiote. Yeah, kind of thing. Oh.
I'm afraid of that. But
it'd be easier on the budget for them, but at the same time, it's not what we want. And no matter what you do with Venom, you're going to have to create something similar to that for Carnage. And it goes down.
And they've talked about that immensely.
Yes, they have.
But fuck that noise. Let's talk about good trailers.
Ready Player One.
I was going to say Deadpool too.
Well, we'll get to that.
Because we got a real trailer for it for once.
Okay, yes, okay, we very much
Which took a very fun stab at Justice League.
It took stabs at everybody.
Arm. It's not like we're trying to remove a mustache or anything.
And the digs at Disney for them buying Fox and
yeah, because he was Woody.
I mean, the trailer was amazing. I cannot wait for it.
It has Terry Crews.
Cannot wait. I mean, there's really not much more else we could say than that. That if you enjoyed Deadpool 1, which most of you did, you're definitely going to enjoy everything else we've seen so far. They're on the right track. They're showing us the right things.
Yeah.
So,
we still know absolutely nothing about the movie, but...
And I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
Because, we've gone off on tangents over and over and over again about trailers giving away the entire plot of the movie, and then you go to the movie like, oh, yeah,
I saw the best parts already.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that movie Game Night that's coming out. Like, I kind of want to see it.
But in the trailer, we've already seen everything.
But I'm afraid, is that everything?
I mean, there'll be hopefully a few more jokes that we'll actually laugh at, but am I going to willing to pay the $10 to $20 to go see pretty much what I already know what's going to happen? So we'll have to see what happens with that.
Weird. Don't say shit like that. That's creepy.
About Jason Bateman.
Yes, I got compared to him once. I play. No, because I kept making.
Oh, I let the siblings have their Freudian slip.
Like, jokes, and I tried to play it off. I'm like, all right, whatever. I guess it's okay being compared to fucking Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf 2. What made it worse is because it was also being used for Arrested Development. I'm not a huge fan of that show. Final trailer?
Well, let me get through terms. Ready Player One, I cannot wait for it. I keep on looking at these trailers, and there's more and more stuff about it that I've been looking forward to just because, for two parts. One, I already read the book, so I know what the story is, and I'm looking, it was a damn good story. And two, all of the references have just been piling on.
Yeah, like I told you, the only
movie.
problem I had with it was when like Spielberg came out, it's like, look, I can't have all my references
I gotta
in there
dial back my own references.
because I'm not gonna sit there and basically break my arm jacking myself off on
But
screen.
60% of the book was all Spielberg
But
references.
it works for two reasons. One, he's kind of right. Like no one, like you don't want to be perceived that way.
You don't want me sitting there just being like, yeah, but this is all my good stuff.
Let's
yeah.
make another Raiders of the Lost Ark reference. Let's forget about Temple of Doom. That was weird. I'm assuming like the chick that played Billy probably gave him a head like every other day on set. It's the only thing I can assume. Like he was getting some hand action. Hopefully, at least some kind of handy. But like he can't do that. And the problem is the guy who wrote it was like, yeah, this is like heavily inspired. This is a fucking dream come true.
Yes.
That the man who basically gave me the material to write this is directing it. So it makes sense for him to be like, I can't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, by removing all that, that frees all of it up to make newer references for us.
That's true.
So that's how we get things like fucking Tracer showing up in the trailer. We get fucking the Iron Giant.
Yeah, it's gonna be a prevalent part. It's been
I mean,
all the
not
trailers
actual
so far.
fucking
Yeah,
the Iron
yeah.
Giant, but the Iron Giant's in there.
Hell, in the new poster for it, which is hand drawn, completely 80s style, is great. They actually have the Swordfish 2 from Cowboy Bebop in there.
Yeah.
Prominent. I was like, that I was not expecting.
But do you see what I mean? Like removing some Spielberg
That's true.
allows. I feel like
To add
Spielberg,
more to it.
Spielberg's able to be like, I'm gonna throw my A game shit still in there,
Right.
and like remove some of the lesser stuff, like more obscure stuff,
Right.
and I could throw new stuff in there for people who don't know.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, you can't exactly market this to entirely us.
No, you
because
can't.
By making all Spielberg references, some of the coworkers once were like, "Oh, Spielberg is garbage." Excuse me?
What?
Come again?
First up, what demographic are they? Let's go with that.
They're the kids that are under the age of 23.
They're garbage people, anyways.
Look, I don't disagree, but a lot
Garbage
of the
people.
references, they didn't grow up with it,
Okay.
but they still have their nerd references. The only problem is the stuff that we grew up with missed them entirely.
That is sad.
So,
I mean, now you have.
which yes, but at the same time, by having it both, we can get everyone involved.
That is true.
This is the best version of No Child Left Behind.
On that note, I would hope that this gets to the point where people, the younger generations, will look at this and go, "That looks cool. What is that from?" and then want to go back and find those movies. I really hope that actually happens.
We can only assume.
Yeah, very true. All right, should we talk about the last trailer?
Solo. I think it was funny that me and Jess had basically the same idea. Could they have not have found someone that looked more like Harrison Ford?
Oh yeah, Alden Eric, or so, like, how do you say his last name?
I thought it was just Aldrich.
Something.
I literally thought it was Aldrich.
So I do have to say though, as a
Going
side
full
note,
metal.
if we're talking Star Wars, when Jess and I were last at Disneyland, they actually sell porg
Krispies?
treats. Yeah, it's basically Rice Krispie treats. So oh well.
I was like, if you didn't bite the head off, I would have. Living out your inner Chewbacca fantasy. Do we need another porg staring at you all sad?
What's already doing it?
God damn it.
But the new Solo trailer dropped. It was decent. The only real problem I have with it is, well, a fan released another version of the trailer, which was exactly the same thing, except they played the Beastie Boys Sabotage.
And it worked so much better
And it made the trailer so much better.
because it also took away all of the talking in the trailer. So it's just scenes of action and look at this cool person, but to Beastie Boys Sabotage.
Yeah.
Worked so well.
Like, it bothered me because Khaleesi, I would let that woman do terrible things to me. But even then, as I'm watching the movie, it's like, you also made that Terminator movie.
Hey.
And that had 11 in it.
Yeah.
It was still garbage.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd rather watch that movie where 11 is gay and you just see him like angrily nailing dudes during World War II.
That
That is an actual movie, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I don't remember. Was it you or Becca who told me to watch that?
I think it was Becca, because I remember seeing it, but you already saw it before.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
I could not watch Doctor Who for like a month.
Anyways, let's get to our main story for the weekend. Of course, it is all about Black Panther. The movie came out last week. As of today of recording, it is now cracked the 500 million
Yes, it's 500 million
worldwide,
something.
which is pretty damn fast. It's been breaking records left, right, and center. The only Marvel movie that it has yet to surpass is the original Avengers movie, but not by much.
Yeah, and it did it in what, the span of a week?
Yeah, very true. But let's talk about where within. Do we want to talk about the story? Do we want to talk about the characters? What do we want to start with? I know it's all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, generally, like, the movie itself, like, story-wise, was really cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the fact that it didn't... The Marvel movies, I know nothing about the characters. Those are the ones I tend to enjoy more.
Mm-hmm.
The
standalone
just because it's fun to learn about these characters a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, like, Iron Man, Captain America, like, don't get me wrong, I love those movies, and they're fantastic. But I love the fact that I don't have any, like, pre-known prejudices behind it.
Okay.
And the one thing I have to say, because going into this movie, I was fucking terrified, because I've always been curious about the character Black Panther, but I was never able to get into any of the previous material. It's because it suffered from something I like to call the Spike Lee effect, where it's reverse racism, where every black or African American character is the only intelligent character you'll ever see on screen.
Right.
And anytime you have someone that's white, they're immediately just a loudmouth racist who hates all black people.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Well, I mean, case in point with the comics, there was a time when the creator was told by Marvel, you need to have more white characters in the comic. So the very next issue, it was Black Panther versus the KKK.
I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing Marvel's always been very good at, tackling like these subjects, but like hiding it very well.
We're gonna talk about this, just not in name only.
Yeah, it's like Scooby Doo, where it's like they released the mask, but there was always like, oh,
right,
yeah. I mean, like, I think the only thing they didn't tackle first in terms of comic books was when, DC had Speedy literally doing heroin.
Yep.
Weird fucking comic. But, like, X-Men was a metaphor for homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, Black Panther was awesome. I liked the character, but I was always, I couldn't get into anything.
You were
before.
worried about jumping into something that could easily turn into something that wasn't really enjoyable, more say, or
I was worried that it was, because any of the few of the comics that I read, and they're mostly hit or miss, like depending on when they came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same thing. Either Black Panther was just a really like smart, intelligent, very capable man,
right,
who was just kind of like, hey, Cap, being a bit racist. No, I'm not. I will work through this together. Like, you're not being overtly racist, but you have some shit going on.
Yeah.
Or just like every white character is yelling the N-word for some reason, and it's like, oh fuck.
But in this movie, though, you didn't get that.
No, not at all, and that's what I liked most about it.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to what you're saying, the self-contained story. You didn't have, except for the far ending, the post-credits scene.
Doesn't count.
You did not have a single...
Stingers don't count as the movie.
Okay. You did not have a single other Marvel character show up as like, hey, remember Captain America? Hey, you remember this character? Do you like this character? Hey, look, we're still in the same universe. Didn't need to do any of that. This was literally solely...
Martin Freeman.
Well, Martin Freeman only had a bit part in... was it?
Civil
War, yes.
And then Claw, who showed up in Ultron.
And again, bit parts. They actually had bigger roles in this one. They had meaningful roles, I should say, in Black Panther. They had a purpose being there, not just, hey guys, this little Easter egg for you.
It played out more like a reverse cameo, where it's like these characters belong in this universe or in this story,
right?
And when you saw them in previous things, that was their cameo,
right?
Like their shit was leading to this.
Yes.
You just didn't know it yet. Surprise.
Yeah. And honestly, with the story itself, you could take away the Marvel branding. Yes, you'll still have technically a superhero style movie, but you didn't need to have that Marvel backing on it to prove this was a solid story. It was almost Shakespearean in certain places with the family backstabbing each other and the tragedy behind some of the siblings and whatnot. It is so well done.
I told you,
really
my favorite Marvel movie is still Thor 1.
Wasn't that... Well, that's totally Shakespearean at that point. So
Kenneth Branagh doing shit? Yeah, man.
Yeah, that is true. That kind of is his bread and butter at that point. But with the characters...
So where's your mother?
Jesus. With the characters,
they weren't two-dimensional.
No, they actually had texture.
Every
they were
character had
well-rounded.
depth,
Yes.
regardless of skin color.
Yes. It was...
Sorry, I'm not trying to make this about race, but it is.
Okay, let's talk about that for 2 seconds. You can't get away with the fact that this was heavily marketed towards the African American community, and rightfully so, because this is something for them to say.
But see,
this
I'm
is
cool
our,
with that,
character,
though.
and I'm fine with it. Like I remember you were telling me that someone online was stating, "When can I go see this movie? I don't want to get in the way of the opening weekend."
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, okay, you just said it. And the response was like, "Bitch, go see it. Just go see it. It's a solid movie. It's not. This is not a black movie."
It's okay. I'm other wife.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Close enough.
So, this lady posted on Twitter, she said, "When can I go see Black Panther? So I want to be, cultural appropriate to you guys and let you have your weekend. When would be an appropriate time for me to see it?"
March 1st, when Black History Month is over.
And all the responses were, "Bitch, go see that damn movie so we make some money so we can get a sequel out of it.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid."
I also enjoyed all like the buzz feeds and everything else like that. First black superhero. But it's not.
What happened to Blade?
It's like there's been others.
Yeah.
Dom lost his shoe and I'm like, blank man. Done. Seal starring Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh God, we don't need to revisit that one.
Come on, it had that one lesbian artist chick as the chick in the wheelchair.
No.
Something Lang? I want to say Lana Lang. Katie Lang.
Anyways. But with the characters. Everyone is solid, everyone's well rounded. There's no 2D characters like you said. The women, the main women.
Let me take this back. My favorite part is the strong fucking women in that movie.
They are amazing in this film.
No sexy lampshades.
None whatsoever. It was great. I mean, everything from, the general to the really, really, genius, smart sister, which I want more of her. That character is so well done, and they opened her character arc up so much for opportunities at the end of this film. It can go anywhere.
And Maz.
I cannot wait.
Maz is the girlfriend.
Yes.
Because I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name because I'm going to fuck it up.
Lupita Nyong'o?
Sure.
All right. Again, solid actress, solid character. The whole thing that even though she loved T'Challa, that she broke up with him because she still felt the need to do something and help others in need throughout the
that was her whole thing. Like she goes, as queen, I couldn't do that.
Yeah. And the teasing going back and forth.
Yeah.
There was never really a moment where I thought she was just chewing the scenery. Like, oh, I'm just here just because.
No, she was an equal every time.
A reason to be there.
She was not a sexy lampshade.
It was great. Let's talk about the villains then. Let's start with Claw. First up, Andy Serkis.
Funny,
is
charismatic,
always a joy
awesome
to see on screen.
I mean, for joy to see on screen in general, as CG'd nonsense, he's still delightful, but it's not him.
And you could tell he just had fun with this role. Like the whole thing with the mixtape.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was great.
You're trying to sell me your mixtape. Oh, if I was selling you my mixtape, there'd be way more of an entourage.
Hey, dude, get him in the link. No, I don't want to hear about your mixtape. After the whole scene where he basically causes chaos in that casino, he's running out. That was awesome, and the driving away. This isn't a freaking funeral. Pump some music. Oh, it was great. We'll get to the action sequences in a moment, but the other character, Killmonger.
Black Vegeta.
One of my favorite characters in this movie.
Yeah.
And no, it is not me having a man crush on Michael B. Jordan because
you have a man crush on Michael B. Jordan.
Hardcore anime fan. I loved that aspect.
I'm being replaced by Michael B. Jordan, aren't I, Jess?
Hey, this means this is the second what's it called? just playing. Johnny Storm that's been redeemed. Because the first one.
No, I know
was
what you're
Chris
talking
Evans,
about.
yeah. To me, this wipes the Fantastic Four movie clean.
No,
that
never happened.
That never happened.
No.
Nope.
That is the boxer briefs that you.
Nope.
Nope.
Never happened.
You think it's
We
just
don't
a
talk
peep,
about it anymore.
but it's
That
really
never
just
happened.
a poop.
Michael B. Jordan was amazing in this
And
film.
you stay in the undies, and like you try to like hide it somewhere, and they just stay there. That is the Fantastic Four.
We don't talk about it.
It is the rosebud in your drawers.
Oh Jesus!
It'll never leave.
Oh.
You hate a lot of actresses.
Anyways.
Jessica.
She's not a good actress.
I know,
So-
but you do hate a lot of female actresses.
That's not true.
Jesus. But okay, with Killmonger, would you say this is probably to me, it is the best villain we've had in the MCU thus far, because
Because he hasn't fucked up yet. Well, he doesn't have a chance to. But
doesn't have a chance to, yes. But this is a character, the villain, who has his ideas about how the world should be and how things should be run, and he has the means to make things happen to try to benefit others. Everything he does, you can say, he has a point. He may be
No,
going out the
again,
wrong way,
that's
but
why I liked Thor 1, though.
Okay.
Because before Loki became kind of
This
whatever the fuck
prankster
he
of
is
all,
now.
whatever thing, yeah.
Think about Thor 1. He wasn't even trying to change or do anything. He was trying to do exactly what Thor wanted in the beginning.
Okay.
But he went about it better.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. But I to me, I still put Killmonger above him.
But see, damn you, Loki. You did Avengers 1.
He was good in Thor 1. He got to that point, and I'm seeing when you're following up
And
on
then
this.
just slowly.
But at the end of it, turned into more of just a single, playing the same gag over and over and over again.
No, not in Thor 1.
No, after that.
Yeah, after that he just kind
After that, he became a one-trick pony at that point.
Yeah, it's like
And became just the butt of all jokes.
Yeah.
Did not matter, especially in Thor Ragnarok, which I still loved.
But you know what I mean? Like, think about the first one. Like, he even screamed out, it's like, Father, I finally did it.
Mm-hmm.
I did what we set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, fuck, you're being crushed.
Yes.
Oh, God, I love that movie so much. But
And that's
we're not
why
talking about that.
That's why I kind of like Killmonger a bit more, is because he had a goal. He had, the way to do things. He
Hi, Auntie.
trained every. Oh God, that was great. He had the physical and the mental capabilities to go through with his plan, and he had the wherewithal to be able to put in his little snide comments here and there, because he knew he was winning, and he knew everything was going to his plan. And of course, it comes at the end where, we already talked about spoilers. He does not,
Make it.
survive at the end, because of the fact he did not make it, and there's nothing else to be move forward at that point. I consider him the best Marvel villain to date, because he doesn't have the possibility of becoming schlock, behind other characters.
But
at
see,
that point.
honestly, that's the one thing I hate about Black Panther.
Really?
Or not hate. Hate is a strong word. The one thing I truly dislike about Black Panther is they killed their villains.
Which, yes, because Killmonger and Claw were some of the biggest biggest villains. Okay.
No, they are Panther's biggest villains.
There were other villains, but nowhere near as big. Yes, you are correct. But I look at it this way: the story warranted their demise, the way they went forward with it, and having them offed helps out Black Panther and Wakanda merge better into the MCU than anything else. You're not being completely faithful to the Black Panther story, because obviously they're not there to come back and continue fighting the good guys over and over again. But with them out of the way, now Wakanda has other issues to deal with.
You could have changed it where it was basically like Claw's right-hand man was the one that was basically fucking over Wakanda the entire time. You could use that as
kind of weak, though.
As the guy who probably told Claw about Wakanda. That's why he's there fucking shit up constantly.
There's a lot.
So he could have been the one that actually killed them. So you could have easily had Claw been like, the fuck? You
See, then we start getting into the whole James Bond aspect. You have this villain, but hey, look, He wasn't the overall villain you thought he was. There's someone behind him that's even greater.
No. You could still
it's
have
fucking Dragon Ball Z at that point.
You could still have Claw be the big bad. Like, he will always be Claw.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like everyone is blaming Claw. But it's like, yeah, his lieutenant was the one that was wrecking Wakanda the entire time. Like, maybe he was the guy that killed his best friend's dad. Or, maybe he was the one that did this.
To me, that's kind of weak, because then now you have another character. You have to try to find more screen time to kind of flesh out, because you have him to be, whoopsie, hey, look, it's me. I'm the actual person behind all of this. That's
No. I'm not talking about the big man stroking a cat in a chair.
Right.
I'm not talking to Blofeld.
But still, having a character like that...
I'm talking just like a lieutenant who's like the right-hand man is the reason why shit's happening. So this way you could still have Claw not die. At the same time, Wakanda still gets their dude.
I disagree with that entirely, for the sole fact that a character in that situation, with the way that this movie played out the way it is, I think would basically become a sexy lampshade. It's just
it's a red herring at best.
I still call it sexy lampshade. It's just someone there to chew the scenery while other the main characters are trying to do something in the background. And for a character like that, who doesn't really have much screen time, for someone who doesn't have the ability to tell their story in a decent amount of time to the audience without taking too much of the movie, I think it's putting too much into it. Having Claw and Killmonger off in this movie, I think, were the best things they could have done with it. Anyways, let's talk about the action sequences. That whole car chasing in South Korea.
I feel bad because when you talked about the movie in the beginning, like before we saw it, because you'd already seen it before Dom and I, you made the comments like, there's only a few big action scenes. I'm like, no, the movie's fucking full of action.
Well, my thought process on that when I was bringing that up to you is that they let the story move forward organically. There's actually multiple sequences.
No. It was very fluid. It wasn't like story, action scene. It's like story.
We're not talking Justice League type of story here.
No, I didn't see that. I actually respected myself.
Oh, God, that was awful.
Again, my favorite review is Jessica's. The whole movie itself was kind of garbage. Was there something you liked about it? Yes. The best scene in the entire movie is when they play the original Batman theme.
Yes, that was amazing. That was very, very well done.
Well, because prior to the movie coming out, it was one of the best things. Where someone was interviewing Danny Elfman. It's like, how do you feel about doing your take on the Batman theme? What do you mean? As far as I'm concerned, there's only been one Batman theme.
That is the theme.
There's only as far as I know, there's only been one Batman theme. And then you and I laughed once we saw it. We're like, bullshit. There's Batman the Animated Series, bro. You did that one too.
Yeah, very true. But going back to the action itself, there was, in terms of main action set pieces, you had South Korea. You had the scene in Wakanda at the end on top of the mine. I think those are the two big ones. There were other scenes here and there with action sequences. Yes, like at the beginning in the African continent.
Yeah, I'm trying to go chronologically.
But I think those are the two big ones that stick out in my mind.
Yeah, because there's the one. There's Nigeria, where they basically freed all the slave women.
Right.
And then there was South Korea.
Right.
In South Korea, I'd probably consider two different scenes, because there's in the actual casino, then there's the actual car scene afterwards.
That car scene was done so well.
And then there's the scene after that where Claw actually gets taken.
Oh yes.
As brief as it was, it still happened.
It's still an action sequence, yes.
And then there's...
Which, to its credit, that had a point to move forward the story.
There's also T'Challa when he first became Black Panther, and then again when he fought Killmonger and lost.
Like I said, the main set pieces that come to mind.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
But there are other.
There was a ton of action in that movie, but it worked so well with it.
Yes.
It wasn't just like, well, here's Ultron fucking up Wachovia.
Here's action for the sake of action.
Yeah, it was actually. It's like, oh, everything, which kind of it was very. Oh fuck, that movie's fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. I never felt lost in the quick cuts in the action sequences. Whereas some other movies that they do jump cuts for the sake of jump cuts, and you get so lost about it, you can't focus on what's going on the screen. Yeah. I mean, when we went to go see it, we were in like the second to the front row. But even then, I could still see everything and follow along and not feel dizzy. It was great.
We were in the second and like off to the far side.
Yeah. It was still, we could still follow along with everything. We never felt overwhelmed at any point. At least I didn't.
No, neither did I.
We've talked the characters. We've talked the action. The set pieces were still amazing. This should easily fit within the MCU so well.
No, and if this is their step one of the new phase
of Phase 4.
I mean, we could say that, but really, I think this is the first step to what I would consider their actual Phase 2. So let's be honest, Phase 1 is still kind of going on, and we're going to see the end of it with Infinity War.
With Infinity War, yeah.
So if this is the first step of Phase 2, I'm fucking excited to see where this is
going to go. Where this is all going to go at that point, yeah.
Because this is the Iron Man 1.
It really is. It really, really is. So to wrap this up, then, I think we both.
Sorry, is your wrist hurting from jacking that movie off too?
A little bit.
Oh God,
a little bit.
It's like when I'm 13 again and had an entire Saturday off.
It hurt so bad, but it felt so good. But the movie is.
No, near the end it just hurts. My record's still 9 times. God, by the end it was just ghost tears.
Please do something. No.
Oh God, we're done. Fuck, I didn't have time to get a tissue. So anyways.
God damn it. But overall, a absolutely phenomenal film.
Yeah.
A great Marvel film, a great standalone film. Just a
Marvel
solid
superhero movie. It's just a great movie.
Yeah.
At least I
go see this film if you haven't already. I've already seen it twice, and I would love to go see it again. I wouldn't. There's movies out there that I'll see like 2 or 3 times, and the more I see it, the less I'm like, oh, I'm starting to see the cracks in it. I love this one more.
Fucking
the
Force
second time.
Awakens that you saw like 3 times opening night.
Yeah. Anyways, we won't talk about my past.
That was like 2 years ago.
Let's not talk about my past. All right, well, let's wrap things up with some quick hits. First off, HBO is going to make recreate Westworld in South by Southwest. They're actually going to go out to a big open space of land. I think they rented like 2 or 4 acres.
So is this just like a one-time thing, or is it like they're going to make like a small Westworld park?
One-time thing, sadly. For people who... there will always be a smaller thing at Comic. They had a small thing last year at Comic-Con where it was just the saloon and you talked to people and you drank and whatnot for 30 minutes and then they kicked you out. They're actually recreating the
I need a special saloon.
Starting town where if you already have a ticket to South by Southwest, which let's face it, some of them get to $1,300 a ticket, then you have to sign up and hopefully you can get a spot. Then they pick you up in a vehicle, and then they show you out to their location, where you go out and experience, quests and go drink and speak with maidens. And they had to say in the press release,
they had to have a fucking disclaimer.
The host will not have sex with you. To which some people responded with, but isn't that what all Westworld is? Just shooting and fucking?
I was gonna say, but what if I'm really good at talking to women? I mean, like, I'm personally not, but like I could imagine like good-looking dudes. Like, I have some friends, good-looking dudes. I mean, I'm not gay, but like Dixon fucking danced at a gay bar and was a fucking like Abercrombie model or some shit at some point. And like literally one of the nicest, coolest, sweetest dudes I've ever met. And it's like, I could see why that you spent most of your 20s just swimming in it.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So if you guys want to check it out, go to discoverwestworld.com, check it out. And those few people who'll be able to experience this, I'm sure they'll post it all over YouTube. And
yeah, we'll see something.
Yeah, so we'll jump into that. Let's talk about Doctor Who real quick. Doctor Who has a fresh, brand new logo for season 11. I kind of like this new logo. It works really well. We're only seeing bits and pieces right now because they're still currently filming right now, yes?
I believe so, yeah.
So we're not going to get anything really groundbreaking like a new trailer or anything like that.
Actually, I don't think they've started filming.
No, they were filming. They already had some set pictures released. I didn't know if they were continually filming.
Well, because I know they're like slowly setting shit up.
Right.
And I believe the new season's supposed to start October.
And then, later on this fall.
And a lot of what's happened so far is they're just kind of like throwing out there like Jodie Whittaker is the Doctor, and they've had certain like art exhibits or some shit.
Yeah, little pieces here and there.
Yeah.
We've already seen her outfit. We've found out recently that Murray Gold, who's been with Doctor Who for years as the composer, is actually stepping away, will not be composing this new season. So you have
This is gonna be a full-blown ass.
oh yeah,
fresh start.
you have a new showrunner, you have a new doctor, you have a new composer. The special effects team is different, or the team that they use, a Blue Milk, I forget their actual name. They've been doing it for like 5-10 years. They're stepping away. So another company is actually moving forward with doing the special effects, but they're known for doing like huge, movie VFX. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work with their smaller budget. But yeah, it's going to be a brand new Who. And I'm fine with that. I want to see where this is going to go.
I say we'll see.
Yeah, so we'll see later on this fall. The latest report is stating that Disney wants to try rebooting the Muppets again for their upcoming streaming service. They've already been stating that for their upcoming Disney streaming service, they're going to have a Star Wars series, a Marvel series. These are exclusive to the streaming service, by the way. A couple like Disney Channel originals. I think one's going to be like the High School Musical series, or like Camp Rock or something.
Camp
like
Rock,
that.
I remember. Yeah,
something like that.
Never watched it, but I'm aware of it.
But they're aware of it. Yeah, but now they're gonna try to reboot the Muppets again for this streaming service. I guess we were in the minority that actually enjoyed the new version that they had, like was like last year or 2 years ago on ABC.
No, when that came out, I want to say it was almost 4 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, Jess, it was like 4 years ago. No. Well, because we went to D23 when it first opened.
Mm-hmm. It was 3
But
years
doesn't
ago.
that happen every 2 years?
Yeah, so it was 3 years. Yeah, so
But it's okay. So
But we'll
if it was
fight-
last year.
We didn't go because it was my wedding. That's
Yeah.
why.
No, I know that.
So we'll find more information about this as we get through it. So having
Yeah.
more Muppets is always a good thing. I think we would agree with that. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens going on forward with that. Some news that was hitting the internet recently. Joss Whedon left the upcoming Batgirl solo movie, and a lot of people were wondering if this was him getting fired or was it more so politics within the DC side. According to Joss himself, he stated that he really didn't have a story, so essentially writer's block.
yeah, he's like, I got nothing, and I'd rather,
Yeah.
if I could let someone else take a go and be good at this, I have to.
Yeah. Plus, also you got to imagine that in this day and age, with the female empowerment movies, all over the place, to have
He made Age of Ultron.
a male screenwriter, right, trying to jump into that, he may not have the big a reception that they were looking for.
Not as much as he used to.
Yeah, not.
I'll never
not
forget him for
unfortunately.
Black Widow and Ultron 2.
Yeah, she was a sexy lampshade in that one. That was painful to watch. But Josh is not going to be without work. He's actually announced he's going to be coming back to Buffy the Vampire Slayer in comic book form.
Well, yeah,
apparently
Sarah
this
Michelle
is-
Gellar, she's done. Like, she's...
Yeah, but honestly, Buffy had its long, overextended run. Let it die. It's like a lot of fanboys would love to see more Firefly, but I'm
Well, they actually announced like 2 weeks or last week that it's coming back. We're getting more in comic book form.
and I'm fine with that because Firefly only got a single season.
Mhm.
How many seasons did Buffy get?
Fuck, I want to say like 7.
Seven or eight. Yeah, it's something ridiculous. So to continue that on in comic book form, I mean, yes, Josh is a great writer most of the time, and I'm sure this will appease the fans who are still clamoring
Way to add
for it.
that asterisk of like most of the time.
Well, yeah. So, but that's what he's been working on for the near future. Before we wrap things up, let's go ahead and talk about one final thing. Deadpool. We talked about, well, yes,
Boobs?
we always talk about boobs. Yes, Jess. But Deadpool,
Butts.
we've already talked about the trailer for the second movie. But now, to make sure you can enjoy Deadpool all the year round, he is getting his own adult party game. It's called Deadpool versus the World. And imagine, basically, Deadpool mixed in with Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
So, this game comes out later on this summer. We only have a quick image of it, some of the ideas behind it.
And most of them are kind of fill in the blank, so it is.
Yeah, it's
You're not as restrained as, say, Cards Against Humanity.
very true. You have to be, well, basically very witty in order to walk through with this and be able to enjoy it. So, someone like me, I'm not going to do well with this. Jordan, however, will probably win most rounds. We'll see.
We'll see.
Just because you don't have a filter, so at times.
Well,
But that works perfectly well for this type of game.
no. Like, you can ask Jess. There was a very awkward family get-together where we played Cards Against Humanity, and literally like even the super Christian sides of my mom family were there and they played.
Ooh.
Do you want to guess who won by a very, very large margin?
The Christians?
And you know our family. You've met them.
Yes.
Aunt Veronica.
Ooh. Ooh. Wow. All right.
So it's always like, who said queefs that smell like kitten smiles? That was me. And she smiles and takes cards like Veronica. Oh.
My view is already suddenly skewed. But that's coming out later on this summer. No word on price, but I'm guessing around $20, $25 is the usual price for
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll probably pick it up and have a go at it. So,
yeah.
But I think that's going to be it for this episode. We talked about a lot. Went through a lot, and it was enjoyable. Had a lot of good drinks. I bit a head off of a porg, so, good times. Thank you guys so much.
Chewy would be proud at that last part together.
There you go. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for Geeks and Drinks. I'm Jason.
Jordan.
Cheers, Internet.